Iran fires anti-ship missiles as tensions around the Strait of Hormuz explode. Missiles roar toward Hormuz as Iran flexes its coastal firepower in a major show of force. Iran's warning shot to Hormuz? Anti-ship missiles are reportedly fired from Qeshm Island. Qeshm Island turns into a missile launch hub? Iran steps up the pressure around the Strait of Hormuz. Iran's missile message to America? Mojtaba shows off Iran's growing ship-killer firepower.
The state of instability in the Strait of Hormuz is exclusively the result of the illegal action of the United States and the Zionist regime. The United States continues to speak with pride about implementing a naval blockade against Iran. This is an admission of an aggressive act against Iran.
Iran fired anti-ship missiles from Qeshm Island toward the Strait of Hormuz, according to Iran's Saberin news. Missiles were also reportedly fired from Iran's southern coast toward the Gulf of Oman, amid heightened tensions around the strategic waterway. Iran Saberin News reported the missile launches on August 16th, but provided no details about the intended targets or any reported damage. Meanwhile, Iran said the instability in the Strait of Hormuz had resulted directly from US and Israeli military actions in the region. Foreign Ministry spokesman Ismail Baghai said the Strait of Hormuz had remained open before February 28th, when the conflict escalated. Baghai said the US naval blockade amounted to an admission of aggression against Iran and had directly contributed to the crisis.
The state of instability in the Strait of Hormuz is exclusively the result of the illegal action of the United States and the Zionist regime. On an international level, they most often present the subject in a way that suggests it is Iran that has caused instability in the Strait of Hormuz. We all know that the Strait of Hormuz had no problems up to February 28, 2026, and it was open. The exploitation of this waterway by the United States and the Zionist regime to attack Iran, as well as the exploitation of adjacent areas on the southern coast of the Persian Gulf to plan and prepare attacks against Iran, resulted in instability of the strait. Iran was and is rightful in adopting a set of measures to safeguard its interests and national security as a coastal state of this strait. The United States continues to speak with pride about implementing a naval blockade against Iran. This is an admission of an aggressive act against Iran. According to international law, this is an act of aggression. Its threats continue, and other violations of the Memorandum of Understanding to End the War continue. Well, in these circumstances, we naturally cannot say that security and safety are established in the Strait of Hormuz.
Multiple reports claim the UAE released several $billion in Iranian frozen assets held in local banks, though the UAE has previously called such allegations false and unfounded. The reported assets were said to include funds held in UAE banks and about 2 tons of gold valued at roughly $283 million. But different reports have cited between 1.5 and 2 tons and provided no documentary confirmation. Flight tracking reports show a UAE Royal Jet Boeing 737, registration A6RJA, traveling from Abu Dhabi to Tehran's Mehrabad Airport and Payam Airport near Karaj on August the 11th and 12th. According to flight tracking-based reports, the aircraft remained on the ground in Iran for around 1 hour on each occasion before returning to Abu Dhabi, though its cargo and the purpose of the visits have not been independently confirmed. Reports also link a June 8 flight from Abu Dhabi to Tehran to an alleged $3 billion asset transfer, but accounts conflict on the aircraft registration, and UAE authorities have denied facilitating any frozen fund release. Separate aviation reports say 15 used passenger aircraft may have been delivered to Iran through UAE-based intermediaries, although the details of ownership, export approvals, and final delivery schedules remain unclear. Reports claim that 3 Boeing aircraft and 2 Airbus aircraft were among planes sold or transferred to Iranian operators, with more deliveries expected, but this information requires confirmation from aviation authorities and the companies involved. Sources say further used passenger aircraft could arrive in Iran in coming months, but no official manifest, airline confirmation, or government export record has yet established the full scale of the reported deal. Iranian sources have portrayed the reported releases as an attempt by Abu Dhabi to reduce the risk of future attacks, but neither side has confirmed that a formal agreement tying assets to security guarantees exists. Amid the rising cost of war, the United States is reportedly facing up to $13 billion in equipment losses and facility damage from Iranian strikes across the Middle East, according to a Wall Street Journal assessment cited by multiple outlets. Iran has reportedly damaged or destroyed more than 42 U.S. military aircraft since the conflict began, though the figures are based on compiled reporting and open-source assessments rather than a full Pentagon loss disclosure. Large unmanned aircraft and fighter jets are included in this figure, with a congressional tally listing MQ-9 Reapers, KC-135 refueling aircraft, F-15ES, an F-35A, an A-10, and other U.S. airframes as damaged or lost. Details of the damage to American aircraft were reported by TASS on August 11th, citing the Wall Street Journal's calculation of Iranian strikes on U.S. facilities and military equipment across the region. Since the start of the Iran-America war, Tehran has reportedly conducted more than 2,000 air, missile, and drone strikes across the Middle East, illustrating the scale and persistence of its retaliatory campaign against U.S.-linked targets. Iran's reported airstrike campaign includes both missiles and drones launched across the Middle East, targeting U.S. bases and shared facilities in countries including Jordan, Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. At least 20 sites in 8 countries used by the U.S. military have reportedly sustained damage from Iranian attacks, including air defense systems, radar installations, aircraft support infrastructure, living quarters, and drone shelters. While America deals with the growing cost of the conflict, separate figures concerning financial aid and support linked to Iran have also emerged, adding another politically sensitive dimension to the debate over the long-term price of the war.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.